I got to start off with a smile. Yes. Did you miss me yesterday? Did you all miss me? Because I didn't go live yesterday. I've been heavy in Clubhouse. So I got to get in have a room that I have to do at 7 o'clock. So I have a short amount of time to be with you all today. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate it. Um, for those that don't know me, my name is Toria Howard. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan, now residing in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm all things real estate, commercial and residential. I also do credit restoration and credit building as well to help my clients be able to attain financial freedom and be able to purchase a home. So that is what I do. So let's talk about it, right? Drop a one in the comments if you're watching this live. Drop a two if you're new to my live, and drop a three if you are watching a replay. And I really appreciate it. So let's get into it because have a clubhouse room that I have to do in like 25 minutes, 24 minutes. So what's going on in real estate in Memphis, right? Now, you should be checking your local markets because there's a lot of things moving and shaking still. People are still buying and selling. So this week, the last 7 days, there are 150 new homes on the market. There were 97 sold and 119 pending. So as you can see, there are a lot of homes pending, meaning that they're about to go to the closing table. So they're in the final stages. So the appraisal was done, the inspections were done. All the back and forth between the buyer and seller are usually finished at this point, and you're about to go to the closing table. So you have 119 closings that's coming up in the Memphis area. So people are still buying and selling. So why are you not buying is the question. So make sure, wherever you are, I could definitely help you wherever you are. Hi, honey. I can definitely help you wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're in Memphis or if you are in Detroit, if you are, what up, though, to all of my Detroit people, or if you are in California or Florida, whatever, I can still help you put your home ownership plan together because I know what lenders want. And we're going to talk about that as well today. So let's talk about the mortgage rates. Everybody is so up in arms about the mortgage rates. Now, they did move up slightly this week. So these are national averages. So these are not set in stone. You have lenders that have lower interest rates. So check with your local lenders. I always tell my clients to check with credit unions and also locally owned banks because they usually give you, more bang for your buck basically. And the reason why I know that is because I had a young buyer. He had bought a home. Before that, he received a pre-approval from one of the major banks and they gave him 110,000 to shop with. And he couldn't find anything in his price range that he liked, that he was getting very frustrated. It was one area that in particular that he wanted to get in that price range he wasn't going to get in. So I told him, I said, go to one of the local banks to see, what they would do for you. Um, so what they did was, he went to the local bank and he ended up getting $200,000 instead of 110. So you do the math. He got $90,000 more than what he had before. So he was able to buy the home in his dream neighborhood at 25. So I was happy to help him with that. So let's talk about the interest rates. So like I always tell my clients, if you have a 740 to an 850, the interest rates are usually the same. So you want to get to that 740 mark so that you will, not, see any type of difference in the interest rates. But it's good to get to the 760 because if you take a hit during the buying process, your interest rate won't change. So, that's the thing. So as from 740 to 850, right now, the interest rate's at 6.4. I know, right? It sounds like it's so high. Hey, James. But it's really not because you're paying 100% rent versus investing in yourself and paying 6%. I'm just saying. Think about it in that sense. My friend showed me her rent ledger and she has paid $30,000 in rent in 1 year. That's a whole down payment on a really good home. So just think about it. You someone you can't, you don't want to be a homeowner and all of that. Think about, hi honey, think about what you're paying in rent. Go look at your rent ledger from last year and see how much money you have spent how much money, I should say, how much money you gave to your landlord to make him rich or her rich versus you invested in yourself. So you tell me what the math is. If the math is mathing. So if you have a 720 to a 739, it's 6.5%. If you're at a 700 to 719 to a 700, you are at a 6.8. If you had a 669 to 660, 679 to a 660, you're at an 8.1. As you can see, the lower your interest rate, the lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate. So that's how it goes. If you're at a 659 to a 640, you had an 8.2. If you had a 639 to 620, you're at an 8.2. Now, anything lower than that, you don't qualify for the first time home buyer incentives. So you need to make sure, and some of them are not even allowing it unless you have a 640 or above. But you still can buy a home at 620. You can buy a home at 580 if you have 3.5% down, because FHA has just lowered the limits for the credit score. So if you have a 580 and you have 3.5% down, that's still not bad. If you have the money but not the credit, you can still buy a home. So just think about that. And then when you get into a home, the thing is, the home, now I do credit repair, but I know sometimes people have to do what they have to do. So I'm just telling you this. If you have a 580, you can still purchase a home at, the FHA rates, 3.5% down. And when you get into the home and you buy a home and it's on your credit report, it actually increases your credit, improves your credit, because it is an installment loan. So, and that doesn't affect your utilization, which is 30% of your credit score. So that actually helps your credit. It gives you a different mix. And then once you fix your credit when you're in your home, then you can refinance and get a lower rate, because your interest rate is going to be high. But think about how much you're paying in rent, 100% to a landlord versus whatever that percentage is going to be at the 580, because I'm not sure. But at the 580, it might probably be maybe 9-10% probably. But think about how much you're paying your landlord versus investing in yourself. Just something to think about. So we're approaching Black History Month. So I wanted to highlight some of the best, Black-owned restaurants in Memphis. So you put in the comments, what is your favorite Black-owned restaurant in Memphis? Or what is the best Black-owned restaurant in your area, wherever you are? What's the best Black-owned restaurant in your area? So number one on the list was Mahogany, Memphis. I've eaten there. I've hung out there. They do have good food and, good ambiance. Sugar Shack is another one. Evelyn and Olive is number 3. Straight Drop Seafood Memphis is number 4. Number 5 is Chef Tam Underground Seafood and Underground Cafe. Now, listen, this is all stuff that makes me want to eat and gain weight. But listen, I'm a foodie. Even though I work out like a monster, I know if you follow me, you know I work out, but I love to eat. Trap Fusion. Now, Trap Fusion does have good food. I do like their food. Slim and Huskies. I love their pizza, their flatbread pizzas. I love those. The Genre is number 8. Southern Hands is number 9. And Peggy's Just Heavenly Good Home Cooking is number 10. So if you want to check out some of those spots in Memphis, definitely check those out. So who I want to do first today? Let's see. Let's go to, I want to do the homeowners today first, because I do cater to homeowners, even though, I know it's like, well, you don't get any money off of them. Well, in the future, I always think of things, beyond what you can already see. I see past this. So if I give some tips, maybe, you'll decide to use me as your realtor to help you sell your home in the future. But I'm going to show you how to make more money off your home. And when you're ready to sell, how that's going to add value. So what is the thing that people notice the most in a home, even if they don't even use it that often? What is the first thing people want? What is the first thing people want in a home, even if they don't use it a lot? Put it in the comments. What is the first thing people notice or what they want in a home? Put it in the comments. Let me know. Sound off for me, right? You guessed it. Kitchen, right? Everybody wants a beautiful kitchen. Even if they don't even cook, they want a beautiful kitchen, right? So here are some ways to modernize your kitchen that is not going to break the bank. So when you think about, a modernized kitchen, what do you think about? First things first, the light fixtures. Light fixtures do make a difference. So you have to understand like the different lighting. People like the what's the light that goes in the ceiling? I know what they're called. I always forget the name of them. But that like the lights that are in the ceiling, and you like the pretty light fixtures that hangs down and everything, pretty chandeliers, stuff that makes the kitchen look light and bright, right? I preferably don't like a white kitchen. I know a lot of people do. That's not my cup of tea. I like darker, sexy kitchens, just like my bedroom. But, I like green and blue, and, I do gray or black cabinets with, light accents. That's just me, though. But I know a lot of people like white. So, but you can still make a dark, sexy kitchen light by light fixtures. So, fresh backsplash. So, updating the backsplash, it makes it look so beautiful. Now, I was watching an Instagram video and they have it where the backsplash moves. That's dope. And then, like on the other side, it has like a pantry or something on the other side. It was super dope. So if you do things that, I mean, you don't have to do anything like that, but I just thought that was super dope. But just putting up great black backsplash, so when people walk in, they can see it. It's just like, oh, especially around the stove. That also helps increase your your home's value. So number three would be increase counter space. People love huge islands, prep space, functionality and flow. People are looking for these islands. I know they're looking, on, HGTV and all these other places, and they see all these huge islands, and that's what they want. So upgrade the lighting. Oh, well, the fixtures I was talking about earlier were like the faucets and the things like that. Those make the kitchen look nice too. But upgrade the lighting is also great to make it look, light and bright in there, and switch the hardware. If all you would need to do, like a lot of this doesn't cost a lot. If you have good wood cabinets, you can take them, paint them, whatever color, and then add new hardware, and it doesn't even cost that much. If you are handy and you can do it yourself, because I was looking on Instagram again, and I saw them where you can spray, spray that, like they was using the spray paint. Look, don't laugh at me because I don't, do a lot of handy stuff, but I'm like, I look like it's something that I can do. They just spray painted the cabinet. It took them like 1 minute to do both sides, like so something that you could think about doing yourself. But switching that hardware, painting the cabinets is something cheap. And then if you go to those stores, go to the clearance section where they discontinuing the countertops and different things, and get the countertops that are not that expensive, that they're discontinued but still look good. People are not going to know, like, oh, this counter is discontinued. And if they know it that good, then whatever, who cares? But nobody's going to know that countertop was discontinued. So just some things to upgrade your kitchen that will help you to, increase the value of your home. So let's talk about the home buyers, the new home buyers that I love, love, love to work with. So people always are afraid of buying a home because, yes, it's scary. It's a big investment. It's a big step. It's a mindset shift. But I want you to be prepared because it's not. Um, what up, though? It's not that hard for you to, purchase a home. You just have to be disciplined and get yourself in line and in tune with what you need. If you've got the education, then you'll be able to do all that you need to do to be prepared. So here are some costs of buying a home. I know it might sound scary, but don't stay right there. There are costs associated with a lot of things, but this is an investment into yourself that can keep on giving. That's the thing. A house keeps on giving. So just think of it that way. So what are the costs of buying a home? So you have the mortgage costs and fees, down payment if you have to put a down payment down. Sometimes you have the appraisal fees, and that happens in the process of you buying a home. You have to pay for the appraisal of the home for your lender, and then the inspection costs. You have to pay for an inspection, and that's depending on the square footage. So that is how that is calculated based on if it's and if they have to if there's something difficult to get on the roof, or they have to get in crawl spaces, all of those type of things. But um those are just some of the costs for that part of it. But when you're talking about closing costs, now you have title fees, escrow fees, the title insurance fees. Those, your closing costs are usually 3 to 6% of your loan. Okay, so that's what that usually has to calculate, depending on your estate and your lender and your your closing attorney. Usually 3 to 6% of your loan. And then the down payment is usually 3.5% or 3%, or some even 1% of the sales price. So that's the difference. So just know those different variations so that you'll know how much you need. But if you get the first time home buyer incentives or home buyer incentive, you won't have to come out of pocket with that money. That's why it's good to get your finances in order. So you have banks like Trustmark who are doing 100% financing. So you don't have to come out of pocket for the initial, you know, costs, but you might have to come out of pocket for it. But they are giving money too back at the closing table to help with your closing costs. So it's so many different avenues and so many different things that you can use where you don't have to have money coming out of pocket, but that doesn't mean that you don't have money. You have to have money saved because the lenders want to see that you know how to manage money. So usually you're supposed to have 3 months of your mortgage payment saved. And that's what they want to see. You have to have savings. So you make sure that you have those savings. Even if you don't use them, you use them to buy the furniture and do all that stuff. You don't have to do it on credit. That's being disciplined. Think about just being disciplined for 3 to 6 months during the process. Getting yourself together, getting your finances, or it only takes 3 to 6 months. If you have the credit score, the credit profile, but you don't have the money saved, 3 to 6 months. Or if you just get a lump sum of money, you can go ahead and do it. That's fine. But you can also use your 401k to purchase a home without penalty. So check with your 401k provider for that information as well. So you might not even have to come out of pocket at all. You can pull your savings from your 401k. It's just sitting there, and you don't get any penalty from it. Put it in the bank, and then if you don't use it or have to use it, you can put it right back. Or you're gonna keep working, it's gonna regenerate anyway. So you might have an HOA fee. So you have to make sure that you know that. Um, You might have to pay for some disclosures, but that's just a few $100s. Home inspections, few $100s. And that's just a few. And then moving. I don't move anything anymore. I pay a moving company. I'm not asking my cousins, my friends to come. Nobody wants to move anymore. When they got of an age, like fine wine, that none of my people want to move our stuff anymore. I don't want to move my stuff anymore. So we pay movers. So that is another cost and expense that you will have to come up with when you're talking about purchasing a home. So think about that, but think about the advantages of having your own home. You have your own space. You can do whatever you want, and it's something that can give back to you. You can pull equity and buy more property or use it to invest or do something else with it because it's going to continue to appreciate depending on your market. So make sure you know your market as well. That's why you get with a trusted real estate professional like myself to help you in that area. So last but not least, let's talk about what lenders want from you when you're talking about your credit profile. Now, everybody is always talking about, oh, is your credit score? Is your credit score? Yes, it's about your credit score. That gets you in the conversation, right? But your credit profile kicks the door down. Because if you don't have the proper credit profile, you're not going to get the home loan. So you can have a 740, 760, 800, and you have two things on your credit. That's not enough. And especially if it's from, low end banks, those tier 5 banks. They're not, those predatory lenders. I don't want to say their names, and they're not paying me for this advertisement. But, think about that. Okay. So just know that tell how to get it. What do you mean? But just know that you will be able to do it. Get paid. Get paid from what, honey? But so you need to make sure that you have those top tier banks on your credit profile. The the Chases, the credit unions, the American Express, all those top tier banks need to have a mix of installment and revolving. All right, revolving is that those credit cards, but you want top tier credit cards like Navy Federal and Capital One, for example, are considered tier 2, but American Express, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, those are considered tier 1. So you want to have those type of banks and credit unions. Any type of thing from a credit union is also will suffice. So if you have that, and then you have personal loans, installment loans like your car note, personal loans, but from those banking institutions. And installment loans are the best way to build your credit because they don't have the utilization, but it's just showing your on-time payments. And you can also break it down. How to get a credit profile. So you can also break down, you know, how you pay that back by knowing your interest rate schedule. So if you know your interest rate schedule and pay it like weekly, because interest compounds daily. So if you know that daily number and you can add it up by the week, then you'll know what you need to pay weekly. So that'll help you. That's for a car note, that's for a home loan, that's for anything that has compounded interest daily. Okay. But those personal loans will help you be able to build your credit because of the fact that it doesn't have the utilization. Now, when you're talking about purchasing a home, your credit card utilization has to be in the 7% or less in those 3 months. Why am I okay? Why is it going out on Facebook? No, stop it. Wow, that's crazy. But anyway, I'm gonna keep it moving. But just make sure that you have that mix of credit. Make sure that you have that mix of credit. If you need to, just turn my Wi-Fi off. I don't know if that's the case or what. But if you have that mix of credit, then that'll definitely help you get it, knock the door down. So you want to have like at a minimum 4 different mixes, two credit cards, two installment loans, or at least 4. They want to see at least 4. You might be able to get away with 3, depending on what banks and how much the limit is too. Now your limit does also count. You can't have like you can't have a zero, I mean not a zero, but like a $500, $200 credit card. It's about, yeah, I got a thick credit file. Now, if you go get a secured loan, make sure that you get it. James want to come on. Make sure that you get it from a reputable bank, and that you start off with a substantial amount. It won't let me pull. I don't know. It won't let me pull you on. But make sure that you get it from. Oh, there you go. You always in the dark. Hi, James.
Hey, what's up? I'm always sitting on this back porch.
I know. I need to be chilling. I want to be chilling like you, chilling like a villain.
Hey, chilling, making this money is all we do out here. Like,
Listen, Big Money J. That's my friend, y'all.
I ain't big money. I'm just moving smart. You just gotta move smart.
True.
You ain't gotta be big money. That's all it is.
Move smart. You right. What's some smart money moves? Give us one tip.
I mean, you got to stay within your means. I mean, a lot of people go out here and try to buy a house and flip a house the next day or stuff like that. I mean, the smart thing is you go out and you stay within your means. Because I mean, you gotta look at the fact that when you buy a house, it's about your money, right? You can have all the credit cards, you can have this here, but you gotta have the money to be able to sustain what you're trying to do, right?
Yep.
And just stay within your lane. Stop trying to be like everybody else. If you all you can afford is a $120,000 house, that's fine. Buy the $120,000 house, let that build up some equity, use that as your investment property after a couple, 3 to 5 years, and then move on. You just got to stay within what you can do, and it'll come for you. Like everybody want to get rich right now.
Yep.
Everybody want to be like a billionaire right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it just don't work out for you. In fact, you lose more money chasing this billionaire status than you do if you just took your time. Because everybody that got way up there, they started off at the bottom somewhere trying to build their way up.
Yep.
They just didn't come out until their status was big, But
Right.
then that's when we saw them. So that's why we trying to be like them. Hey, just take your time and just roll with it. I mean, just you know, follow what you want to follow, invest smartly, right? Stay away from stuff that's gonna get you in a lot of trouble. Them the ones that hurt you the most is when you go out there and get like them like one main. Like one main is it's a good company to get to help you. But the thing is, when they look at it, they think you were struggling, so they went out there and got some bad finance
Yes.
company. Anytime you deal with a finance company, the banks automatically think that you was in some kind of financial problem.
Right.
Stay away from them kind of institutions, them financial. Somebody send you a check in the mail, say all you gotta do is cash it. Stay away from stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's not
Yes.
gonna get you nowhere. So
Nowhere.
people just tell people take their time and stay within your means, and
Yes.
eventually all of it's gonna work out at the end. I mean, you're gonna have if you got 5 houses worth 120,000 in your heart, you might think you ain't got nothing, but you got a lot right there because that $120,000 house might be worth $250,000 in 10 years.
Right.
So you just doubled your money in 10 years, and you got five of them. But you want to go out and get a $250,000 house, a $300,000 house. No, stay within your. Go get you a $75,000, $100,000 house. Just stay within what you can stay within, and you'll be good. So.
Right. And that's good advice. You can't, a lot of us, I should say us have a champagne, taste on a beer budget.
They do.
And you start where you are and build from there. Think about the Monopoly. Think about the game Monopoly.
Right, absolutely.
If you go out and buy everything up, try to beat everybody else, you end up, not having a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And you lose a lot because you might not get nobody to land on it. You know what I mean? So it's all about starting where you are and doing it smart. Picking and choosing smart and picking up where you can. So, you know, I appreciate that, James.
No problem. Always welcome to come here and talk. You know what I'm saying? I always willing to drop a tip every now and then because I'm listening so I can gain knowledge everywhere I go. So, hey, you're doing a great job and
I
you
appreciate it.
knowledge. I appreciate you, sis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I need to be learning from you,
My money's so short, you don't want to mess with me.
That's because you invested in right now.
You don't want to mess with me because my money's so short, but I'm comfortable though. See, I'm like them people. Like one thing about it is like when people scared to be broke, then that's when you lost yourself.
Right.
I mean, rich people ain't never scared to be broke as long as you got money invested in something. You might feel like you broke, but you ain't broke. You just don't have the cash flow to be able to give like you want to give.
Right.
Like I don't worry about all that. I just do what I want to do, and I just live the way I want to live. And hey, the money gonna come every day. You can
It
make
will.
money, so I'm not even worried about it too much.
Oh, I definitely understand that. The thing is you have to start where people don't never I think people are embarrassed to start where they are, you know. But you shouldn't be embarrassed because you have a start.
Right. That's the thing. We are. And the black scared to say I bought a house for $120,000 because we want to impress our friends.
Right.
Hey, don't worry about your friends. You don't know how they got there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if they struggling. They
Exactly.
bought their house and they struggling. You stand within your means. Now you can invest. Now you can fix you got money to fix your house up, and you can get another house while they still trying to figure out the house they got. So,
right.
Or you know it, in 10 years you got 5 houses. They still sitting in that $250,000 house trying to figure out how they got in there
and being house poor.
Like,
yeah.
So don't worry about your friends. Don't
Right.
worry about nobody, because once you buy a house, you bought some. You just put your money in something that's gonna be a long time investment.
Exactly, because you can use it to, leverage it to get that bigger house later on and buy more real estate, and that's what people got to understand. Like, you have to go ahead and just start where you are. There's nothing wrong with that. It's only temporary. 3 to 5 years is not that long. It'll go by like before. Look, we at the end of January. Like, it seems like the year just started. So
it's tax time right here, right?
Yep.
It's money that everybody's gonna get these taxes. It's a perfect time for a down payment on a house, or for you to go ahead and put into a house. Like, everything gonna get itself right. Like, people take their tax and go on trips and do all this stuff right here, but you can take your taxes and invest in your house, and always be able to pull equity out your house to do other stuff later. Like, you want to go on a trip, you go on a trip later once you got your house, because you can pull out equity out your house, because it's going to make itself back up. Because the economy is going to come back, and when it come back, the housing market is going to come back just like it crashed in 2008. And then look at it, it's 2022, the house market came back. And 2020 and 21, it just went crazy. It's going to keep coming back.
It's cyclical. So it's going to keep on doing what it's going to do. But did you know, in Memphis, even in a downturn in the real estate market, Memphis houses either stay the same or they increase.
They should. There's no reason. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason, because Memphis ain't marketing inflate, because the people that houses that inflated, the people that got all this extra money. Like in Texas, where I live, the California people came out here and bought cash houses unsight unseen. They ran the prices up on Texas. When I lived in Florida in 2021, they did the same thing from New York. They came down sight unseen, bought houses out of pocket, like spending $700,000-$800,000 on houses. People down in Florida couldn't compete. Ran the market crazy. Now the market kind of selling back. But in Memphis, they didn't have it. Like, nobody came from out of town buying all that, spending all this astronomical amount of money. I sold my house in Memphis. I stayed in my house for 9 years in Memphis, and I walked away with over $200,000 just living into a house. Right? I lived in a house for 9 years and didn't do nothing extra. Made my payments. And you walk away and you make money, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all about the fact that you just got to be smart about, because when you live in a house, people don't understand. That's a savings account. A house is a savings account.
It is.
You paying on it, but the equity is building in the background. You don't even realize you making money on a house that you think you just sitting there. That's why people rent houses, because while you pay rent, they making money in the background.
Right.
And they pull money out the house that they rent to you to be able to go buy other houses or put down on other houses.
Exactly. Exactly. You exactly right.
I just want to come back for a minute and drop that on, you know what I'm saying?
I appreciate you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You take care, and I'll be chatting with you.
Oh, you too. So, I gotta get on Clubhouse. I see the notifications rolling in. I'm supposed to be in a room right now. But I love you, bro.
I love you too. You take care of yourself.
Bye.
All right.
That's my bro. He should have listened to him. Go back and listen to the replay if you need to. But I have to get out of here. I have a Clubhouse room I'm supposed to be in right now. But if you need your credit profile and you need a thick file, you need to know exactly what lenders are looking for, I can help you all across the United States. You need credit repair. I can help you all across the United States to build that credit profile, to build that credit that you need so that you can take advantage of the tax advantages of building equity into a home and also being able to use that home as investment money to do other things. So I bid you adieu. I'll see you tomorrow for Winning Wednesday. I'm going to talk about some other things in real estate. And follow me. Share this if you felt like this was, some great information. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.